This is now the recording session for DRFT131. Let's look at the schedule. So today's March the 17th, and next week is the spring break, so we won't have recording sessions next week, and then we'll have 5 more weeks of class after that, roughly 1 more month. That goes quickly, so make sure that all your assignments are turned in so far. Today we're going to just review homework assignment 9 and get back to a couple of the tools that we are using in our project. So it will be a short session. All right, let's open the assignments for number 1, number 9. And we had to talk about this thickened surface tool, the section plane, and 3D clip. Those are 2 new tools. Section plane, we already saw it. And then you had to draw an amorphous planar surface, give it a 12-inch thickness, and create 2 sections using the section plane, 2D and 3D. First, let's talk about the thickened surface tool. Thickened surface. So there are some times where we want to create geometry with profiles that do not lend themselves easily to use some of the solid tools that we have. And so one of those cases is this. I'm going to go to the plan view, UCS, plan, and then we are in plan view. And if I create a, let's go to the 3D. If I draw with a spline, which is what I wanted you to do, but you didn't, so, and create kind of a shape that does not have a particular straight side or anything. So we got this shape, which I call an amorphous shape. It's kind of like an organic shape. Let's look at this shape in 3D. And from the side. So you can see it's a perfectly flat object. And maybe we can, or maybe we cannot create a 3D object from there. So what if I try to extrude that? Yeah, it does create a solid, that's fine. Sometimes it doesn't happen. And so, but one thing that you can do is create a planar surface. A planar surface is a really useful tool here that not necessarily, it may not necessarily need to be an enclosed object. Okay, and so let's do that. We're going to go to surface and then create a planar surface. We don't do too many surfaces in this class, but let's do that. Now it says here, specify object. I'm going to select that and press enter. Now we have a surface there. See if we can create a planar surface here. No, I can't because it's an open curve, so it will have to actually be closed. And now we can. Now those surfaces can then be converted into solids by using this tool called the thicken surface. And so whenever you have a surface that you created by using an empty, let's try to create another surface here with just a line like that. And then I'm going to extrude that line. And so that should also be a surface. Yeah. So we got planar surfaces and vertical surface. Now I can use this tool then called the thicken surface to create a solid. And so if I select thicken, click on the object, press enter, and now I can specify a thickness. And that's the idea. The thickness is going to be the height on the z-axis, maybe 10 feet. And there we go. It's the same as extruding that object. Let's say if I can extrude that, enter, and 10 feet, right? So the surface could have a thickness which becomes a similar tool. Now let's see if I can apply that here because I don't remember if I can. And yes, we can, see? So we can give a thickness to a surface created with a simple line. And so very useful tool because in some cases, if you wanted to create an extrusion out of that particular line, you would not be able to do that. But then with a thickened surface, you can. And so it's a tool that kind of combines both solid and surface modeling. Next. Section plane, we already saw that last class. It's very, very simple, right? So you do, and it creates a section plane. The section plane can actually modify the, when you go to generate the section, then you can modify the objects that you want to include. And so maybe you only want this object, right? And now you create a section of that object. And remember, you can create a section that is 3D or a section that is 2D. And once you're done with the section plane, just delete it. And now we're going to review now a different tool. This tool is called the 3D clip. To do that, I am going to copy this model that I have, maybe this one. Into a new drawing. And in this drawing, we're going to use this tool called the 3D clip. The 3D clip is a different tool that AutoCAD has that allows us to create section views. And it works this way. I am going to just type 3D clip right there. Let's press F1 for more information. And opens the adjust clipping planes where you can specify what portions of a 3D model to display. Setting clipping planes is primarily a viewing option. Use the section plane and the live section to create sections. And so we can do, this one we use just to view the object. Although you can also create some views that you could print as well. And it's found on the ribbon. This button is not available in the ribbon. Enter 3D clip at the command prompt. So when we type 3D clip, we get to this clipping, we get this kind of picture-in-picture screen, right? And then we get one plane and another. And what's happening here is that this plane is perpendicular to this view, to this one. And the other one is perpendicular to the object from behind. All right, and so I'm going to right click here and turn the front clipping on. And now I'm going to move this clipping plane in. See what happens with the 3D model here. It starts to create a clip. And I can look inside the model, see? So that's why this is called more of a viewing tool than a sectioning tool. Let's get closer to that and let's do that again. Move the clipping plane and see how it clips the model. And so sometimes this type of views are used to look inside a model like that, just kind of breaking the walls of this building and looking at it. Let's do it again. You need to turn it on by right click from clipping on. And there it goes. Now, another thing that you can do is turn the one in the back on as well. And you can see how it's gotten from the back. And you could do both. You could do back and front. And now you have a view that has been clipped. See that the clipping planes remain in place, perpendicular to the existing view. And I'm going to turn them off. Now, what happens if I move here, these to the, no, actually, want to do it from the front, right? Like that. Now let's do 3D clip. And then move it. So it creates a section of the building, see? But it's mostly for viewing purposes. Right? And so you can move that section dynamically, moving the clipping plane. So most of the time then I will use the clipping plane on 3D. And create a view that I think I need to show my client. And that's it. That's what the clipping plane can do. Now, of course, you know, if you have a viewport, then you can modify different clipping planes, or you can set different clipping planes per viewport. So I can do that. Maybe I copy this viewport here, and this viewport I go to the other side. And so I could set clipping planes that are different, right? So inside 3D, and then from clipping on. And so you can see I'm doing that. And now I can go in this one and do the same.